Welcome, everyone. Welcome, one and all. Well, I'm going to try my best here to see if I can watch the chat. Am I capable of this? I do not know. Trying to find myself here. Oh, boy. Oh, there it is. All right. Oh, hold on. We got it. I can watch the chat if this rotates. I don't know. Good evening, brother. I hope everyone enjoyed the epic kind of video that I put out to kind of showcase this. It does fly way more stable. I have the bang angle set at 20 just to be safe. And I can fly it in here. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But I just wanted to kind of, show it off. See who shows up, see who wants to take a look at it. And then go from there. A little more brightness so I can read this stuff. Yeah, let's get everybody on here. If we can. If not, I totally understand. We'll put you over here. So, hey Angel, how you doing? Let's get ready to fly. I hope everyone, I don't know if everyone saw the short. I expected a lot more people to look at it and go, that was really cool, because I used a lot of some of my Adobe assets to get the licensing for the music and everything. So, and some of the graphics. So that was like a big investment on my part. I will take this out to the field where I normally fly the P-51. Or attempted to fly the P-51, and then I will fly this even more. But we can fly it in here tonight because it's that stable at this point. So it's fun to fly. And I wasn't able to, or I'm going to, but I haven't incorporated any of the carbon fiber into it yet, and it still seems to be flying okay, just fine on the PETG mounts. So there's that. I might need more tobacco. Well, that was kind of the point. Haven't made rockets look like that since the beginning of time. And it's not just about aerodynamics either. Hell, a rock can fly if you throw it hard enough. We'll fly it in here so you guys can take a look at it. I love those comments when they come in. You're welcome to be here, man. If you read the front, you wouldn't even have to make that statement. Come on. Let's get some people here because I'm going to fly this thing. I know the name kind of gives it away. So. Welcome. I'm gonna actually, that's a good one actually. I'm going to fly it here shortly. So let's go ahead and get things booted up here.
Welcome to HTX. Throttle warning.
Oh, throttle warning. Why do I have throttle warning? Oh, there we go. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. Battery stabilizer's in there. You can put a different pack in there. The stabilizer does come out. And you just plug it in. ELRS is up here. Could have been better. I was actually thinking about putting 2 white strings of PETG or something out here so I could put the antennas on them, but I thought maybe that was going a little too far. As if I haven't gone too far as it is. So let's try and get a good view of over here where you guys will be able to watch it. And we'll get it set up. Yeah, that's on. Okay. Oh. Fly it away from me. That way I can start off with positive control. All right. I'll try and keep it in view for you guys. All right. As you can see, there's some husky hair in the garage. It's getting blown around. Wow. It's actually running a SpeedyBee F405 V3. Oh, I think that battery's dead. I have another one on the charger. Hold on a second. Where is it at? Oh, it's only a 244 milliamps. These are 1500 milliamps a piece.
Telemetry lost.
Yes, I know. Telemetry lost. So I may have to wait now for the rest. I'm gonna have to wait for them to charge. I was flying it earlier. I'm probably gonna end up getting a larger pack for it, just so we have a little bit more flight time. It has the room for it, obviously. Running the trusty TX16S with the, let me try and move it that way a little bit more. So it is running a TX16S. I'm going backwards? I guess so. Let's go this way, shall we? Alright. Get turned around while I'm looking at the screen. Yeah. It would be good for dusting. When you have huskies, that hair goes everywhere, man. Especially when you don't even notice it sometimes. We've got Colt coming in here, he'll hang out in the garage. and I sweep it every once in a while, but sometimes I'll miss a day, or like I'll miss 3 hours without sweeping, and then he'll have coated the entire garage with his hair. So, yeah, he's a good dog. Oh man, how's everybody doing tonight? You know, I fully expect. I don't think YouTube likes me anymore, so I think that's why I get so little views. Is that one of Elon's rockets? No, because I was able to land it first try. So, no, it's not one of Elon's. But it was honestly just because I'm waiting for a motor for the bigger turbine engines that I'm working on. I wanted to see what I had laying around the shop. I was like, oh, I've got an old F405 V3. I haven't used it in a year or two. And I had these old Tornado, I think V1 4100 kV motors, and I was like, well, that's probably adequate. And then I found the blades, and then I had the Radiomaster ELRS that I had on an old SpeeDB F405 wing. So I just kind of made up the design in Fusion and just kind of went with it, and then printed it out and slapped the 405 in there from the SpeeDB, and then the motors. And I don't even have any carbon fiber reinforcement in here yet. That's just straight PETG. What I did on the bottom, I printed the top light, and you can see in there how everything's set up. I printed the top light, but the bottom I did with more outer walls, so that when it was doing the engine housings here and the base, that it would basically be solid. So I'd still have the 3% gyroidal infill in the rest of the bottom, but where it was crucial, it would be solid. I am going to reinforce the bottom end with some carbon fiber, just because I think if these engines get really warm, then it may deform the PETG, and I want to make sure that that doesn't happen in flight. But for the most part, most of this is just 2-wall and then 3% gyroidal infill. A couple of magnets for the door, so on and so forth, and a nice battery shield. This is actually removable. If I can get my hand in there. It is removable. It's just a perfect fit, so it's like hard to grab it. Let's see if I can get it. And the idea behind this sleeve was to make sure I was able to put the battery pack that I had, those little ones I showed you, the 1500 milliamp. And then I'm able to, if I have a different pack, I just print a different sleeve, and then it goes in there and holds the battery stable. So it's really lightweight, it's 2-wall, again, 3% gyroidal infill. And it works, for example, I'll take the dead battery here. And basically you just slide the battery into that, and it keeps it stable when it's inside the machine. So that's realistically the reason why I did that. So I'm getting caught up on something here. Make sure I don't rip any wires. So we'll leave that in there for now. But basically that's still the whole design. And just magnets for the front door. So I did a nice little epic short to kind of introduce it, but that got all of about 85, 90 views. there is a fairly large baseball field where I have repeatedly crashed the P-51 Mustang, so I'll probably take it out there and give her a go and see how it does. Again, I do have it at a 20% angle mode for stability when I'm running in angle mode. But other than that, I can turn it off and fly acro, which will give me pretty much the full range of motion. You know how acro is. I've been trying to practice it on liftoff on an app because I'm not really good with acro, but they make it extremely difficult on there. So when I was flying, I was doing that intro short. I was actually doing it in acro, and because I'd forgotten to turn on the stabilization. So yeah, that's how that worked out. So I'll show that one. Hold on. Well, okay. Why isn't it letting me show that? Another moderator just handled this? Okay. Well, the entire population of Texas. I will answer your question. I did it because I've seen a lot of different high-speed drones that are done in the vertical stance, and I just kind of wanted to do kind of a parody on that. And I also wanted to be able to, just see how quickly, I could throw something out in Fusion. Other than waiting for the PETG to get here so I could print it, it took me 2 days to build this whole thing. So, I mean, it's not like, that's what designing it, printing it, transferring the parts, soldering on the wire extensions for the motors, soldering on the wire extensions for the LRS receiver, getting everything mounted, putting everything together. Basically, yeah, this is like 2 days. So I figured if I can take parts, lay into my garage, and build something like this in 2 days, then it'd be a good accomplishment. So yeah, basically what I'm going to end up doing once I get to the baseball field is I'm going to kind of let her rip, and then see what she does. Get some air flowing past those motors, keep everything cool. Possibly incorporate some of the carbon fiber first, just to make sure I don't have any issues. Because I have some 1mm spars and some 5mm spars, but I also have the old body that this little one came off of, which was considerably smaller. And my thing is, I always like to try and see if things are going to work if you make them bigger. So while these motors and props are designed for a much smaller frame base, I was like, screw you, frame base. I'm gonna make my own. It was fun. It was actually quite fun. I'm telling you right now, this is actually the smoothest flying drone. This flies very stable for what it is, even though it could be a little top heavy. But it's just one of those things you do, like when you're waiting for parts for the bigger motors, you want to, because I'm working on a 170mm 22 blade turbine, electric turbine, for a lot bigger projects. You all know about that. If you don't, you just check out the playlist, check out the study fan, and we'll go from there. You can check that out and you'll know. If you look up the Shrike, that's another EDF drone that I put together. This isn't really EDF, it's sort of open prop, but I've kind of ducted it because of how the design worked out in Fusion. So I don't know. It flies good. So, one of those things I got lucky with, right? And I have a whole total of 8 viewers. That's awesome. I guess nobody cares. If I were to put the STL files and components list up for this, how many of you would want to actually build it? Hey Jason, how you doing? Or Jackson, sorry. Sorry, my screen is dark. I hope everyone had a chance to see the last short that I posted, because that was the intro flight to this. It was more of a parody kind of cinematic intro that I did, and it was quite funny. And I honestly don't know why. I honestly don't know why I don't have as many viewers as as I usually do on these things. It's confusing to me, because I was going with just the science behind the turbine engine design. So I decided to do something a little bit more crass, and as far as, you know, the DilDrone is concerned, and which is hilarious. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel bad about making it at all. I doubt it offends anyone. With all the stuff I've seen on the internet, I'd be really, really surprised if this offended somebody. Other than the fact that it's red, white, and blue. But if that bothers you, then, you know, there's the door. So, yeah. I'm going to have fun with this stuff. When you're waiting for other parts in your board, you make stuff up. Oh, matter of fact, I'll show you something else I printed. I'll be right back. This was a cool model I found that goes along with it. That's cool. I was printed all in one go on the Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon, obviously with the red, white, and blue. It's a hell of a cool desk ornament. It's made out of PETG, so it's semi-translucent, which means you could put a tea light or something behind it, make it glow, which would be kind of cool. And that'll be the only time you ever hear me say put a tea light behind it. But yeah, that's a cool little piece right there. I like that. Oh, you want me to fly it now? I'll fly it now. I mean, well, I think I killed the battery, but I was just flying it a minute ago. I'll see how much battery life I've got in the other one. We'll see what happens. Hold on, let me check my battery. I know I've got more. Where did I put that case? Oh. Let's see how many batteries I've got. I don't know if this is my third one right here. I don't know if this one's charged or not. But yeah, we'll turn on the Radio Master.
Welcome to HTS.
I don't know. That must be a dead battery too. again.
Telemetry recovered.
Yeah, I think that's a dead battery. I have to charge that one. Let me try the one that I have on the charger. These XT60s, man, they friggin' are tight. There might be enough there. We'll put this one on the charger. And we'll go with a charge. No. 1 second. Okay, we're letting that one charge. That one's actually, it's 13 volts. That's why it was beeping. That one's been sitting for a minute. All right, let's see what we can get out of this. We might not, we'll get a few seconds. Hopefully.
Telemetry recovered.
There we go. All right. Turn you back around here. And hopefully it has enough juice in it. Nope. That one's dead too. We're gonna have to wait on. Maybe 850's got something in it. Hold on.
Telemetry lost.
So we know we need to charge those two. I charged the 850. Let's see what that's got.
Telemetry recovered.
No, that one's dead too.
Telemetry lost.
You guys caught me with all my batteries dead. That one will be charged next. Let's see if I have another. No, I gotta have another one. Here's a couple 850s. Let's see if any of these are alive.
Telemetry recovered.
That might have something in it. No, it's dead too. It's like slowly. So these have been sitting for a minute. Where's the other one? Ugh. You guys might be out of luck. I might have to charge everything up, do it again when I go to the park.
Telemetry recovered.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Telemetry lost.
What else do I have? I know I got another one here that's... I've got a 14.8 volt 7200 milliamp. That's not going to fit in there. Okay. So... we're charging and keeping an eye on this stuff because batteries are starting to get a little worrisome. I had to buy some new hardware. Okay. So I didn't have a battery completely charged, but like I said, if you go to the short, Yeah, I had it up in the air for a minute before I killed that last battery. Uh, yeah, it's time for me to charge up all those 14S packs now. I've been focused on 22s, you know? so yeah, it's basically the idea was use the parts I had laying around in my garage, make something quick in Fusion, get the STLs out, print them up on the Bamboo Lab, and see how everything functioned. Really, it's just a minimalistic PID setup, not very aggressive, and it was mainly for the purpose of I didn't want it to be as aggressive at first, just because I didn't want to end up, flying off into nowhere, and somebody, um, you know, down the street bending over at the wrong time. So yeah, so I was trying to keep the PIDs kind of tame in this sense when I started. So, I used to have a lot of RC cars. I was really into the Savage Nitros. I think, as a matter of fact, when I was on Fort Gordon, I actually went off base and bought one. And I built it in the barracks. And then the drill sergeants would have me run through the piles of leaves that we had all the privates trying to clean up. And he wanted to take off the privates, so he'd have me take the nitro truck and run through all the leaf piles and scatter them again. And then he would go and yell at them and be like, what the hell is wrong with you, privates? How come these leaves haven't raked up yet? And then they'd rake them up. And they go, but the truck, drill sergeant. Go, what'd you say about a truck? I didn't sell you no damn truck. That was so funny. And then they get them all raked up, and he'd come in here and he said, go do it again. Like, freaking running through the leaves. They're all trying to hit it with their rakes and stuff. Bunch of pissed off privates, man, I tell you. What looks like that when I build them? This or what are you talking about? The truck? I don't know what you're referring to. I guess if you're doing acro and you want to you remember those old lawn darts they used to have back in the 80s and 90s before everyone went crazy? Well, I guess the idea of throwing a large metal dart with fins on it in a public park was probably a bad idea to begin with, but we didn't make the game up, right? So it would be kind of like that. Throw out a ring or something a couple miles out and just go to see if you can't just nose it in. So yeah, that'd be kind of funny. They do, actually. Especially that pack in there. Like if you're running electric, you got a big pack. Looks like you got this remote controlled truck with a pack of, like a military grade stuff jammed in it. But the Nitro RCs I loved because the Savage, I think it was the first time that they had come out with the automatic clutch. So it would automatically shift, and it had 3 gears. It had reverse. It was just really, really cool. And I would just tear up Fort Gordon with that thing. and it was freaking awesome. Didn't have time to do stuff like that at Fort Benning. Just, you all know, man. Anybody been to Sand Hill? You know what I'm talking about. You didn't have time for fun. Yes, the battery does resemble it quite a lot. But yep, the idea behind this little guy is just for fun, just to have fun. I enjoyed building it. It was a challenge because of the parts and you see how small these motors are. These little T1s. These 4100 kV motors. The challenge when a motor wire comes out from the inside of the bell, that's a challenge to solder. So it was a lot of it challenged me, as far as my soldering skills and stuff are concerned. So I was able to make it work anyway. So that was the whole point. Like had these parts laying around in the garage for years. So I was like, because I've been working on other bigger stuff. And any one of my other playlists, if you're new here, you can go check those out and you'll see what I'm talking about. Mainly the stubby fan or the Mach 1 project, which encompasses the stubby fan. And then the Shrike, the Javelin. So, again, in the interim of having to wait for as I'm waiting for these things to get here, and waiting for, to be quite honest, sometimes to be able to afford to buy another motor. Because when you burn up a 6374 48 volt motor, then that's 83 down the drain. So you got to go, and it wasn't even my fault. There was a short in the Hall sensor effect wire, shorted out on one of the coils inside the motor itself, and it broke one of the wires in the coil, which pretty much just destroys the whole connection to one of the phases. So the motor just jitters. So I'm gonna I have to eat the cost on that one. I may tear that motor down since I have the magnets and the stator and everything, and just take all that wire off and just experiment with rewrapping my own stuff with because they did it all bunched up. It was just ugly as hell. But finding somebody who builds a quality motor that suits my needs has been difficult, and it's not, most of the time, not within my price range. So I need to find a good motor. So I'm going with the same company, and I'm gonna, before I even run the motor, I'm gonna take the the snap ring off, and I'm gonna pull out the stator, and I'm gonna see how their coils look, because if they look any worse than the first one, then I know that it's not gonna last too long. It'll last long enough to do some testing, but I'll order it from Amazon, so I have enough room in the test window to send it back if I have to. I was testing for so long with this other one that I went out of that test window. So, and this wasn't because I pushed it and did something wrong to the motor, and that's why I was sending it back. It was because somebody didn't shield the Hall effect sensor wires, and it got warm enough to where it melted through the thinner shielding on the inside of the Hall effect sensors, and that shorted out on the stator, and that just killed it. Yeah, that's what I do. You have to, right? I mean, I'm trying to make a channel go, right? I even got Buy Me a Coffee link up there, and Patreons you can join just to help out, so I can order another motor, But, vet bennies are around the corner here in a minute, and I'll pay all my bills, and order the motor. Now it's like, this one's a little bit bigger, and the first one was 48 volts, and this one is actually 75. But I could still push the 75 with a 48 volt ESC that's 150 amps, and it'll keep me within a safe margin of heat dissipation because it's designed for 75 volts, but it'll still run off of 48. And since I'm only going for a specific number of RPMs on the actual main fan, because it's a 170 millimeter 22 blade high pass, then I think I'll get to that RPM range that I'm looking for without having to push the motor too far. So overbuilt motor so that I can have a little bit of overhead on heat dissipation. It's not much bigger than the other one. The one I burnt was 6374, and this one's like a 7070. So it's a little bit beefier, but it's less kilovolts by about 80 kilovolts. And that's not going to kill my RPM range too much. It'll still keep me in the 25 to 28,000 RPM range on the main fan, and that'll still produce a proper amount of torque. You know, as long as I've got everything programmed correctly on the timing. I know 11.5 has been pretty good to me so far. So, yeah, that's how we're going to run it. And I just got to wait to order the motor, is all. So, NTSB? What? Well, hi Colt. How you doing? Come here, buddy. Want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come up. Come up here. Your legs. Stand up. Stand up. Okay, say hi to everybody. You're the reason why there's hair everywhere. Ugh. Don't get out the garbage. Nope. 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 Get out. Boy? All right, I'll let you in the house. Hold on. No, don't grab garbage as you go in. Get in there. Get in there. One moment. Like I was saying, I'm going to attach a fiber optic cable to. What are you asking me exactly? Oh, I must have missed part of the conversation you guys were having. Am I going to attach a fiber optic cable to what? What? Why would I attach a tow wire to it? Oh. Yeah, I'll show this one in the chat if the moderator won't let me. Another moderator has handled this. Okay, yeah, somebody else is. Sorry, Tropic Curve. But yeah, to answer you, it's not that. It's a drone. Yes, the name is suggestive, but you know, the idea is that I've seen these high-speed drones where they were doing the whole NASCAR chases and stuff. I was like, I'm going to make my own. And then I'm going to make it red, white, and blue. Make it more American. And then I decided what's more American than, all right, you know, a big red, white, and blue dick. There, I said it for you. Yeah, there will be a cam on there. Actually, the ELRS is here on the back side, but I'm gonna put I'm gonna set up a cam on the nose. Just a tip, I promise. And then I'm going to have that cam on there, so when I go 90 degrees and start ripping it, and just I can kind of keep it in control, watch from the goggles, that kind of thing. But yeah, it would be nice to have a camera on there. And there's so many applications to this. The files are simple. There's literally only like 5 files to this thing. It's the 2 for the base, 1 for the center, 1 for the top, and then the door. Oh, 6 if you include the battery shield, but that just depends on the size pack you're running. I could probably get a pretty fat pack. Everything I'm saying is suggestive now. To put in there, that's designed differently. So you have fairly rectangular battery packs, but there are some that are kind of more cube shaped, I should say. And I could run one of those if it's got like, I'm looking for more milliamps. 1500 it really ain't enough to run this. It'll run it, but not for very long. So I'm thinking maybe 3000, somewhere in that area. But you could probably fit any battery in there. It's all going to depend on the weight, realistically. And it's hovering easy at half once I get it off the ground. So I've got a lot of headroom for speed. Jake, it's a drone. It's a drone. We lovingly call it the DilDrone, the American DilDrone. And yeah, that's what it is. ELRS controlled. TX16S is what I'm using with it. And basically it's just something I threw together out of parts I had laying around in here. And the name, of course, yes, also is suggested, which is why I'm kind of curious why I don't know. Maybe I'm not finding the algorithm correctly or something. I don't know what else to put in to make it any more apparent. I'm making a high-speed drone, and it's shaped like an appendage, so we've named it thusly. So, yeah. Now that'd be one way to tell France off, huh? And thanks for the gift. Do you know what the maximum miles they fly with those fiber optics cables? 18.5 miles. Still not seeing how that applies to what I'm talking. I assume you're talking to PXD because I'm not. I'm kind of lost on that conversation. Like, what are you talking about? Like the tow missile? Those are wire guided. No, not the tow. No, it is the tow. It's the Javelin. It's not. I don't know. Most of the crap we dealt with was AT4s when I was over there. And AT4s, mortars, and the Javelins, stuff like that. Anything else is handled by the Warthogs or any other air support. Yeah, that's what it's for. It's a wire guided system so that you can't jam the signal. Line of sight, really. One moment, please. One moment. I wasn't really sure what else to print. To kind of give you an idea on what other stuff I'm working on, we do have this. This is the big boy right here. Got the outside of its casing at the moment. Let's sit right here for a moment so you can bask upon its glory. That's what I'm pushing with the 7070 that I'm getting, and it's being pushed through a. I haven't pressed this down and bolted it in because I haven't got the motor in yet. But this collet is attached to a 4-to-1 gear ratio box, 4-to-1 gear box, which gives me plenty of good speed and rotation, and converts that 190 or 110 kV and the max RPMs that it delivers to 4 times what I need. But that's why I wanted a motor with some torque on it. Because if I don't have a motor with some torque on it, then what good is it, Especially with a high-pass fan running 22 blades. One of my biggest projects here is this fan. The ductwork is sitting over on the bench. You'll see it when I get back into that, when I get the motor. We'll do some more videos. Yeah, that's what the torque's for. So the idea was do a 110 kV. That's going to give me plenty of torque. Put it through the gearbox, 4-to-1 step up. You got 48 volts times 110. There's your RPMs. I'm not going to calculate it. And then times 4. So 48 times 110 was 480. Or 4. I just smoked, dude. Don't make me do math. I had to do calculus all week. I don't want to think about this. Anyway, the point is, the RPMs are in the range of around 28,000 at the end of it. 26 to 28, somewhere around there, which is really the usable RPM range for a 170 millimeter fan with this blade profile. So, realistically, we're looking at 55 pounds of thrust out of this motor. And then I'm building a drone with 4 of these. So it's a heavy lift drone that should be capable of about 220 pounds. This is just for fun. This is not for any purpose other than I'm going to stick a whole bunch of LEDs on it and everyone's going to think they're watching a UFO. It'll be the highlight of my day if I see my drone on somebody else's YouTube channel or some like Instagram, like, what the fuck is that, dude? What is that? What is that? What is that? And everybody knows it's a Falcon 9, but this time it'll be my drone because I'll be doing some weird light show shit with it. I'm telling you, I've got so many NeoPixels laying around. It's gonna get nuts. Opinion on Manhattan. So we're going to New York. Why would you want to go to New York? I mean, out of all the places in the United States, you think, like, it depends on what you're looking for. You want high prices, tons of crime, that kind of thing. Yeah, New York's good. San Francisco is good for that too. San Francisco, though, they lovingly ask you to keep your doors unlocked and your windows down so people don't actually break your windows to see if there's anything to steal, which is ridiculous to me. Because if I'm sitting in a coffee shop, somebody's out there trying to steal something out of my car because I got my windows up, call a meat wagon. There's very many places to go visit. I suggest Montana. I don't friggin' know. I've been to Georgia. Don't go there. Unless you're really, really fond of humidity. I'm talking like, oh, it's only 85 degrees, and you step out and you're like, yeah, but it's 120% humidity. I'm sure there's plenty of places you can go. I thought the Canadians didn't like Americans right now. Are you the exception to the rule? I couldn't tell you about Minnesota. I haven't been there. I was Georgia, Tennessee, Decatur, Alabama, New Mexico, Arizona. Pretty much every state along the bottom edge, going all the way over to Georgia. Arkansas, not Arkansas. I passed through Arkansas, but I stayed in Decatur, Alabama for a while. Actually, it was the first time I'd ever seen a firefly, like with my own eyes, rather than on TV or something like that. And at first, I was like startled because I was like, I knew they existed, but I wasn't expecting to see a bunch of them coming at me. So yeah, that kind of startled me a little bit. We love Canada too, man. That's why we're trying to get you in on this. We don't want you to end up being a loft apartment over a really great party. We want you to be involved. We're trying to bring you in as a state. Friggin', no taxes on tips, things like that. I know they're gonna argue, we have free healthcare, but then how long does it take someone in Canada to get a doctor's appointment? I've seen that. No, yeah. Sorry, Justin Trudeau is. I don't like to speak ill of anyone, but he's a twat. Plain and simple. Okay. You know why people are bringing their manufacturing here? Because he didn't want to play hardball, so we put tariffs on everything. Now they're going to start building here to avoid the tariffs. Smart move on our part, I think. But all you got to do is become part of America. Just the 51st state, man. We'd be the biggest continent on the planet. I mean, we're already taking care of you guys with the military. So, we're already buying, like supplies from you. It wouldn't nothing would change other than the fact that you wouldn't have to deal with Trudeau. Let's just be honest with you. I've had more, to be honest with you, like I said, I don't like to speak badly of people, but if you're running an entire country and you don't know what the hell you're doing, let's put it simple. If you're messing it up, if your people are suffering in any way, and I guess you could say that about every country, but here you have the opportunity to suffer of your own accord. That's your choice. Succeed or suffer. Pick your poison. But here you get to make a choice. So, yeah. Every place has its problems. but it's typically the choice of the individual, not the fault of the state to not provide opportunities. Shit, man. I mean, we're all human beings. We should be able to hunt, fish, and, like store our own food and stuff like that on our own. Shouldn't have to worry so much about infrastructure. Like, oh, well, if somebody didn't have a Walmart in their area, they'd starve to death. But, but yes. Yeah, I feel you on the whole Trudeau thing. I do. Because, well, he's an idiot. It's just, that's as plain as I can put it. I mean, we're gonna fight back with tariffs and we don't care, dude. Fine. Next time somebody decides to make an incursion onto your land, then maybe we just won't help. How about that? We literally got the backs of like everybody in the damn world. This was the first Constitution of the United States adopted in 1777. Which established a weak central government and a union of states. That is correct. People tend to forget that when they start screaming that this is a democracy, because it's not. It may be a democratic republic. It was founded as a republic. Even Benjamin Franklin said that. Like, this is a republic if you can keep it. So, yeah. I think it was Franklin that said that. So that's pretty much the whole point. So what? We piss off Newsom, we piss off Pelosi, Schiff, and all those other freaking Epstein Islanders. And, they don't get any more of their slush fund money through the Hezbollah condom fund. So, yeah. I mean, we freaking know. We know, okay? Just like I said before. When they tried to kill him, or when they tried to kill the President of the United States in Pennsylvania, it was the only, I love pointing this out, it's the only live Trump event that CNN televised live. The only one. And ironically, the same damn thing happened when Kennedy was shot. I wonder why. They were trying to kill him, and they wanted to make sure they instilled enough fear in the right to do what they say. Well, that shit ain't gonna happen no more. You dropped the ball on that one. You lost the office. You lost the House. You lost the Senate. You lost every damn thing. And the Democrats hate it. Stacey Abrams is like, how am I going to make my mortgage and all these houses I bought with the money that was supposed to go to people in need? That's the logic behind it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, we're cleaning the swamp out. That's what we're doing. Bottom line, cleaning it out. So yeah. And in America, start messing with our country, DilDrone are going to come looking for you. I'm going to plant some high-speed freedom right up in you. Yeah, she's in trouble. Stacey Abrams is in trouble. Oh, they're all jumping ship now. They're all jumping ship now. Democratic Party, Titanic. And Rose ain't sharing any freaking room on that floating door. Okay, that's all there is to it. Sorry, Jack. You're an ice pack. Yep. And they don't like it either. They're like, you know what, well fine, we'll just use the FBI. They're still in our pocket. Oh wait. Well, we'll use the CIA. They're still in our pocket. Oh wait. Well, we'll use the Secret Service to take care of this problem. They're still in our pocket. Oh wait. Yeah, they've got no power. They hate it and they have no power. And you've got AOC calling Elon Musk, someone who doesn't understand science. Like a literal bartender is telling somebody that builds rockets they don't understand basic science and that he wasn't an intelligent man. Okay? And AOC probably got her vote the same way Kamala got hers. Okay? And that was a ride on Willie. Alright? I mean, how else does a McDonald's employee become the vice president? Good God. Thank God she didn't win, man. That cackle alone. That was just, I wouldn't be able to do it. Can you imagine her coming out for presidential addresses every time? You're just like, Fuck no. I would have been to Canada after that. Because, no. I would not. And, I didn't think they were going to win anyway. I mean, I saw her doing her campaigning, if that's what she'd like to call it. She was hiding in the same basement Joe was. She wasn't out there doing anything. She was the border czar. I mean, look at the numbers. Do I need to even say it? You and me both, man. You and me both. I think the dog wants out. One moment, please. Which dog wants out? All right, Colt, come on. Let's go. March of shame. Let's go, come on. Out you go. Oh. Oh man, having huskies has reminded me how old I am. Yeah, Noah. Get down here, man. Get down here where the freedom is. Have some of it. Everybody's welcome. I never had a problem with immigration. It was the over the wall part that was bothering everyone. And then we can't. Are you seriously gonna bust in here now and be done? No, you won't back out. Okay, all right. That dog, I tell you. No, I don't have a problem with immigration. Proper immigration. That's how a country works. That's how a country knows that you're here. That's how a country knows that you're here so they can provide goods and services for you while you're getting on your feet. And then they wonder, and on the other end of that, there's the trafficking and MS-13, that they were trying to get out of the country. So, and they were trying to stop the trafficking, human trafficking. So, I hope they have reapers going down the border, just waiting for them. But identify the tats from up in orbit and just, That's what I want to see happen. A lot of people are they're complaining because they're like, oh, well, the birthright citizenship, and they've been here for, so many years, but not one of these Democrats gave a damn about the corrupt spending. All they cared about was who was finding it. And that tells you all you need to know. They don't care about what was happening with the illegal immigration. the sex trafficking, the fentanyl, and all the other stuff that was basically killing Americans. And the individuals themselves that would come over and commit crimes and harm American citizens. But you don't hear them complaining about that. You hear them complaining about the fact that we're being, racist or whatever. It's like it has nothing to do with your color, You come over here and commit a crime. I don't care if you are every color of the damn rainbow. If you commit a crime at my house, you're going to be one main color, spread out all over the place. That's pretty much all there is to it. So yeah, I'm glad he's getting them out. I mean, I got gangs and stuff that are offshoots of them. The local gangs, the actual American gangs, the left and the right, the red and the blue and all that other stuff. They ain't real gangs. They're just basically a group of guys with spray cans, carrying around friggin' 3D printed shit guns that don't work right. So I don't care if they freaking don't like what I'm saying. Bottom line is, there's honor in the right kind of action, and they should know better, And they do know better. It's all about greed. It's all about money. It's all about, the power that they get from it, or the power they feel from hurting people, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't care about the gangs. I've dealt with them out here with the property I have to watch over, and I watch over it with some hardware. I don't mess around, because when I was growing up, you sell things with your fists. You actually got in fights, physical fights with people. Then later on, you picked them up, shook their hand, and they were good with you. The problem was solved. You went off and you were friends afterwards. Not nowadays. Nowadays, every freaking adolescent with a friggin' YouTube or internet connection is trying their best to be the next greatest rapper or scariest thug, and it's like the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It reminds me of that movie Idiocracy. Yes, we have freedom of speech. Not even mostly. I mean, people will complain about it, but it's free speech, so fuck them. They don't like it. In the EU, they're like getting charged for saying shit on Facebook that was offensive to other people. Well, fuck the EU. If they don't like that, they can come over here and try to arrest me. I want to see some Bobby walk up to my door with a baton. And the last thing he's going to see is a 308 size hole right in front of that door. Right in front of the door he's standing in. That's it. Him and the idea he had fucking yesterday. Bottom line. Don't worry, YouTube. It's called a peephole. It's roughly 308 millimeters in diameter. Or 38 millimeters in diameter. 0.308 of an inch. Ugh. And they're fucking rolls. I swear. I gotta work my ass off to try and get watch hours. Or I'm not even gonna start making any kind of money off of this so I can buy more shit. So I can build more stuff for you guys. Ain't no way that battery's charged. I guess it is. Holy crap. I guess you are gonna see a flag. Do you want to go inside, Colt? This is gonna get loud. Go on. Oh, let me put this away. Ah! Let me try that again. Alright. Put the other batteries on here while I'm doing this. Alright. So you guys want to watch it fly? We'll watch it fly for a minute. We'll do some hovering. Be fun. Colt, I'm not letting you out again. Now you're just messing with me. Alright, let's beat that up.
Welcome to HTM. Switch warning.
Yes, I know. Switch warning. See if I have a bad battery or if that actually charged. All right. Well, let's turn you around. All right. Don't be hitting buttons. Nope, 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 nope. Back up. All right. Okay. Oh, freaking neat. All right. Angle mode on. You guys ready for this one? All right. That was fun. Alright, so I'm going to turn the motors on and arm them so they can heat. Otherwise they'll heat soak and then it'll mess with the PETG. So. Damn, there's hair everywhere. Alright. I run them like that for a little bit because of the heat soaking. Don't want it to overheat the motors. Just give it a second. That sound you're hearing, that really high-pitched ring, welcome to tinnitus. That's my world. All right. Motors are nice and cool again. That's good. They don't actually get that hot, but when you're testing and doing a lot of hovering, it can cause a little bit of heat. Battery is a little bit warm, but that's what you would expect at 120C discharge rate. So. There. Well, there she is. That was a nice flight. At least I know where all the husky hair is now. So was it a good flight? Did everybody like it? All 5 of you enjoy it? I'm not sure how I need to change the names on the videos I'm putting out for people to come take a look, you know? I mean, I always say it. It's like, I'm sorry I don't have like a great pair of tits or anything, but so for the most part, you guys should be able to enjoy the content, right? But ooh, 20 can. No, that's not too bad, I guess. We're just working on the watch hours. I'm just surprised that nobody watched. I mean, who watched the short? Did anyone see this short and go, this is literally a laughable epic parody of a drone launch? Because that, I know a lot of people, they go, oh, we don't like to watch shorts. Well, that's realistically most of how I get my people to come in and look, you know, see what's going on. And the ones with the brains tend to stay. So not bad for really an unplanned live, I guess. You know. But at least while I'm waiting for parts, I have something I can play around with. Have some fun. So we'll do some flights. Probably this weekend I'll get out to the field, which I'll have a lot more room in. And we'll see what we can get done. See what our top speed is. Realistically, it's just how funny the damn thing looks flying through the air. I mean, there's just no, it doesn't matter if it's the fastest thing in the world, doesn't matter if it's the most powerful thing in the world. What matters is I built that out of parts sitting in my garage and designed it in Fusion in a couple hours and printed it out over a day. And put everything together and it works. And it's just something fun to have, you know? It's like, I don't complain because you guys waste your time playing racquetball, you know? They look at the drone and they go, oh, that's nothing new. Mine can go fast. I already know what's going to happen because I put out a video. I'm going to get a whole bunch of comments on how much faster theirs is and that and the other. And it's like, does it look like I'm building something because I want to be like on top? You know, I'm looking for clout or something on YouTube. I'm freaking having fun here, you know? And I'm trying to share with people. Put a smile on your face. Have a good time. that kind of stuff. You know, that's what it's all about. And you know, one of these days I'll have the fastest plane. I'll have a quad I can fly around while I'm on it. So yeah, that we're getting there. We're gonna get there. Until then, enjoy my DilDrone. Oh man. Oh, that's funny. Oh man, you're gonna get me going on that now, huh? Those flat Earth garbage. Like somebody dropped a Pyrex dish on the floor, and all of a sudden, poof! Everyone grew up underneath it. Trying to get me going on that. Trying to get me going. So I think it was Prototype sending me a picture of the flat Earth sitting on a turtle, and I was like, man, you are just trying. You're like poking the bear right now. Just like he knows. He knows. He's like, oh, I'm gonna send this one over to him right now. I was like, man, just the science alone that I'm myself aware of is enough. You know. Obviously to understand why the Earth isn't flat. So, yeah. And that's all I'm saying about it, okay? That's all I'm saying about it. Man, that's the dumbest damn topic I ever did. I'm done. I'm not talking about it anymore. We'll move on to something else, like Michelle Obama's a dude. Or something like that, you know? Something that's truthful. And nobody can convince me that she's that he's a woman. No one can convince me of that. You see that dude's back? Just walking into the Oval Office in a white dress to look like Muhammad Ali. Not to mention, I'm sure there's been other videos that you've seen. You're like, really? No, I know. Watch, I'm gonna get a defamation suit. You know, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, there's this whole constitution. This is actually a comedy version of my lives, so I'm at liberty to say what I wish. And we're in a free country, so I'd say go fuck yourself, but that would be just a bit awkward in your condition. So, yeah. And why is it now that celebrities leave when they say it's like Trump gets into office and like, I'm leaving America, and then they're like, okay, well, I'm sure you'll find a Starbucks somewhere else. Have fun. We won't miss you. You know, and it's just the celebrities. And half the time it's celebrities in the movies that you don't even really give a shit about. It's like, who cares? You know? I was surprised when De Niro went woke, you know? Started hating Trump. I was surprised. You know? I thought he'd be more American than anybody, you know, but you know, he showed his colors, you know? So he's obviously on the Epstein client list. So there's that. we're not even going to get into Diddy, right? We don't need to. But yeah, that's the way it is. Damn, man. Look, that censored the crap out of me. Yep. That's like all the cool celebrities went woke, and it was all because they didn't want to, be canceled. You know. And now Denzel Washington is being cast as Snow White, and everyone's totally fine with it. Or Samuel L. Jackson. I saw the reel. That was even funnier. Can you imagine that? Going from Pulp Fiction to going woke. You know? You're totally fine with the violence you were promoting then. You watch that? Really? That'll be some funny shit, I'll tell you. Oh man, we need to get an AI on it. Redo Snow White with Samuel L. Jackson. The whole thing, you know? And just AI everything, the voice, the face, the whole 9 yards, and just the whole movie. That'd be funny. And that would deserve the views it gets. Some of the stuff I see on there on YouTube doesn't deserve any views. Raise your hands if this deserves views on YouTube. Are they? I don't know if this message has been held. There's a lot of messages that are getting held to review. I think they're watching me. They're watching right now. Like sometimes you guys will send stuff out, and maybe it's my settings. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's probably my settings. I don't remember setting it like that, but. It's like, yes, this deserves views. It's beautiful, isn't it? One of my most beautiful creations. It flies good though. I enjoy it. I'm tired. I didn't plan this stream, but I wanted to actually get online and kind of show you guys. And then I'm gonna charge up all these batteries, and then we're gonna take them out. And I'll see what the difference is between the 800s that are at ADC and the 120s, performance-wise, on these smaller packs. And we'll see. Do some comparisons, get some data out of it. I have extra props. It looks like it chipped one on something. I'm not sure what but well, it's not chipped. It's dented. But I have a couple extra. We have the obvious. It's a drone. See? American drone. If you missed it, and rewind, you'll see where I flew it. Wouldn't want you to miss that. If not, there is a short. That's the last short I put out. And it was the introductory flight. I did my best to make it as cinematic as possible for you. for your viewing enjoyment. Yeah, that's right. America. America. What time is it, everyone? It's almost time for me to go put the children to bed. Otherwise, they'll play Phasmophobia all night on my computer, and then I have bad dreams. I wonder why. But just wanted to jump on here and tell you. So, be looking for a video. I'll probably put out a short saying, going out to the field to do a test flight when I am going to go out there. I'll have to come back and edit. I can't shoot live from out there because there's no signal. So I'll take the video, come back, run it through Premiere, make sure everything looks nice and clean, post a nice video of the flight, the data collection, so on and so forth. Bring out the temp gun, check everything, see how the heat goes between the 800 or the 80Cs and the 120Cs, and the run time between all of them. I have 3 of each one of these packs, so I'll be able to get some control data. And we'll see how these little Tornado V1 motors hold up. 4100 kilovolt motors, and they got enough power for this weight. I'm actually quite impressed with them. I could have made this lighter, but what the hell, right? New top chat. We got a new top chat. I don't know what that means. You talking about the chat rate? Oh, topic. Should Canada be the 51st state? Yeah, I think it should. I really do. It should be the 51st state. Otherwise, it's just Canada. We got the red, white, and blue, and the eagle. You got like a leaf. Needs to be. We put Canada and the U.S. together, make it the biggest continent on the planet, and then you guys can run Trudeau down and do whatever you want with him. That'd be your problem. You'd be like, we're going to clean this mess up now. Trump's got our back. Throw him over our southern border. See if he still has the same views when he gets back. That's what you need to do. Because I'll tell you right now, I don't think he'd last a day. Not one day if he didn't have the money that he has. And he was in Mexico. He's too pretty to be there all by himself. He'd get lost in the jungle. Oh man, I hope he sees this. I do. I'd love to get a personal response from him and see what he has to say about it. Why don't you want to be part of the United States? What scams you got running where it's not going to be more beneficial for you to be part of the United States? Did I tell you we found all the scams for the most of the scams? I'm sure there's still a hell of a lot more going on here, but we're finding it all, and we're finding a shit ton of money, and it's all ours. So why is Trudeau so comfortable there instead of being part of the United States? We're already protecting you guys. We already know that. Everybody wants our military to step in. Why isn't the U.S. doing something about this, that, and the other? And then the moment we start, they start protesting about the fact that we're doing this, that, or the other. Some oppressed regime or some oppressed people because we intervened in the shit they were complaining about that was going on in the first place. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever, man. If I was the U.S., I'd be like, dude, get to the back of the line. Oh, I'm serious. I'm serious. It's ridiculous. Let's focus our military on protecting us. I don't care if that means we have to make some sacrifices, like wartime sacrifices. Let's take care of us. But it's not like we couldn't really just settle things in a few milliseconds. You know what I'm saying? It is not about. It's a drone. It's called the DilDrone. How do you know I didn't mean it was modeled after a pickle? It does say Dill in the front. See, that's where everybody's mind went, right? I put DilDrone instead of Dill Pickle or Drone. And they went with, and where did everybody's minds go? Okay? Wasn't my fault. I didn't lead you to the water. You found it yourself. Then you started drinking. Oh, somebody didn't want you to. Yeah, they're watching you right now. They're monitoring everything in the chat. YouTube. You're like, we can't monetize him. He'll get popular too damn quick. Their algorithms have pushed me down to dirt, man. I'm telling you. Why? Because I speak the truth. Because I'm conservative. Because I'm showing the red, white, and the blue. Because I'm in America using my freedom of speech. Because I'm using my talents and my to make cool, fun things to fly and to watch fly. And it's just, hey, you know, that's what this channel's about. And the occasional me getting on here to rant about random crap. But like I said, I do have to go tuck in the kiddos and start winding down. But there will be a flight this weekend where I run all the batteries and we see how long she lasts. And we collect the data that we need. And it should be funny. It should be fairly funny, especially when I switch it off of angle mode and I'm in acro. That's going to be funny for sure. So be ready for that. Watch for it. Go check out the rest of my channel. Go check out everything if you're new here. And join us on Discord. You can visit the Buy Me a Coffee if you like the Shrike. I have a list of components there with the STL files available. That battery's done now. 1 second, let me shut that thing up. Make sure you go to the links in my bio. Especially if you want some really good coffee. So yeah, definitely check out the links in my bio. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I am on Patreon. I am on Buy Me a Coffee. I'm on X. I don't know what else I'm on. But it's all in the bio. I mean, a bunch of little drogue shoots that pop out, you know, at the top. I'm totally doing that, man. It took me like 10 minutes to reprint that cone and just get it up there and put it on a switch. Or it pops off. You see all these little drogue shoots come out at different heights. So when it's floating down. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. Sean-tastic, you were like, you're in the group, dude. That's all I want. You won the internet right there. I'm doing it. I am doing it. It's gonna happen. Like, I mean, people can complain all they want, but it's like sex with Kobe Bryant. You can kick and scream all you want, but it's gonna happen. Oh man. Look, I would love to stay a little bit longer, I really would. But just be looking for a video sometime this weekend. Maybe Sunday if I get out tomorrow to film it at the field. I can't go live out there. I wish I could because it would be awesome and you guys would love it. But there's just no signal out there. And I want to get a video out. So I'm going to film a video. Like I said, I'm going to go through 3 1500 milliamp 120Cs and 3 800 milliamp 80Cs. And that'll give us a good control. It'll give us a good average of the performance of each battery, the speed of the drone, so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to do. So be sure and go down to my channel page. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that bell. Make sure you visit that link down at the bottom. It says Breakfast in Bread, so you can get yourself some bitter coffee for bitter people. Like you will see a picture of the cup that I got and the coffee in the last short that I posted, where I did the introduction flight for this drone right here before the flight that I'm going to do this weekend. So make sure you go check that out. I want to thank every one of you for being here. You have been wonderful. I love the fact that you got to see this. By the way, this is an awesome print right here out of the same material. Took long enough, but it was an awesome print nonetheless. And then we're going to start getting into the big boy drones. The big boy drones. Yeah. Then we're really going to show some people some stuff. I guarantee you I'll get a bunch of UFO sightings off this. So what'll happen is when this is done, this is a drone and it's ready to go and it's got a bunch of these flashing off of it every direction. You're going to see people posting videos on every social media platform out there saying they saw a UFO, and you are the only ones that are going to know who it is. So, from all of us here at DPC, we thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the DilDrone. That sounds bad. And be waiting for that flight because it's coming soon. See you next time.